it's not that I just want to be mayor. I think that I would make the best mayor for this moment in Schenectady's history, which Schenectady is a city that's older than the country, and it's just been the launching pad for so many of our communication technologies, whether it be television or radio, um, there and now social media in the way that I'm using it in this campaign.
Hello, my name is Orlando and I'm running for mayor of Schenectady, New York. Hello, my name is Orlando and I'm running for mayor of Schenectady, New York. Hello, my name is Orlando and I'm running for mayor of Schenectady, New York.
Hello, my name is Orlando Otis Hunley, and I'm running for mayor of Schenectady, New York in 2027. And I have a plan to tackle and conquer food deserts. So it's just I've always, as I said, like there are people who see me and they're like, "Oh, you're so young running for mayor. You're too young running for mayor."
Mm.
And then there are people who've known me, all ages, and they're just like, "What? Why didn't you run when you were 18?"
It's about time.
It's about time. And so it's like I up until like a year ago, I was dealing with like massive stage fright, and when it comes to like performing, music and stuff like that, and like I had been dealing with that since I was like 7. So I overcame just like certain internal things, and then I just found myself in dialogue with people across upstate New York in Schenectady about becoming mayor. And so it's just like it's all coming together, and we now know things that we didn't know, and I now know things that I wish I knew then,
Mm.
and I now know who was keeping it from me.
Mm.
So
Interesting.
it's just about when everyone talks about change, everyone talks about hopefully filling in potholes, but we talk about how we're going to do it, and we talk about the agreements that have stopped us from doing it, and why the money isn't making it there, and why it will make it there under Orlando Otis Hunley as mayor of Schenectady.
How are you going to end food deserts in Schenectady?
Well, we're gonna stop. You need to, across so many industries, decentralize, and you need, decentralizing it makes it more accessible. So in Schenectady, so many of our neighborhoods, they're food deserts, but they have Dollar Trees. They're food deserts, but they have corner stores. So instead of, you know, relying on these big box grocery stores, it's about updating the resources we already have and putting fresh produce in the places that we already have across Schenectady. So
Mm.
turning corner stores into grocery stores, and that will affect how some grocery stores feel, especially in a moment where you have Market 32 buying, consolidating the grocery store market, and they just bought up ShopRite, I believe,
Mm.
and that creates represents a great problem, because like I did a video like a month ago about how like 80% of the pears that are in our grocery stores in upstate New York, they're coming from Washington State and Oregon, and so they're traveling all of these roads, they're being flown here, they're
Across
getting
the
here,
country, yeah.
but they don't make it to our food desert. So it also making sure that these products and these produce that are traveling far distances just make it that one final step. And then also, it's so important, if you want a city that's thriving, two of the things that I find to be so important, and it's like I like it, and I'm going to talk about them in tandem moving forward, but kitchens and stages. People need to be able to cook where they are, and because our food is so cultural, and it's just not every the solution to food deserts, it's not just grocery stores. It's not just that. It's not that simple. It's about having access to a good home cooked meal,
Mm.
and there we have so many people who can know how to cook, and it just a whole economy into itself. And then stages, and so like kitchens and stages, where
Interesting.
so that's how we're going to end food deserts.
Okay. So you're running for mayor in upstate New York. Are local politics more important than national politics?
Yes. Yes, definitely. In very real ways, when it comes to property taxes and how that's affecting the raise in rent that so many of us are experiencing, our local taxes and how those are spent. And so, you have a great advantage, because you get to focus in on important issues, when on the federal level, it's about making things so abstract. On the local level, it's about being definitive, and it's not about an ideology, it's about a philosophy. And if your philosophy is, well, we're going to raise revenue by levying fees, fines, and taxes, or we're going to raise revenue by being in the community and offering services, by ensuring that our sidewalks are cleared, that our small businesses have the same opportunity as these large businesses that are creating, like, competing with them wrongfully. And in so many cases, our small businesses, like with like Metroplex, our small businesses are contributing to funds that large institutions like our Union College and so many other businesses don't contribute to it on the same level. So, and then they're the ones dealing, like, if for a small business, if a pipe bursts, that's it. Like that's the difference. And that's like, so it's about servicing those people. It's about making your residents feel heard. And then national politics is just in disarray, and it's about confusion, fear, and hatred. You know,
Yeah. So, as the man who strives or is running for future mayor in Schenectady in
mm-hmm.
upstate New York, what's your message to the people watching? I mean, the teachers, the nurses, the parents, just the average citizen like you or me.
It's time that we get paid what we're worth. It's time that our skills are valued. It's time that our experience is felt. Um, it's time that we start being who we always knew we could be, and even why we even find ourselves in situations that we know are challenging. It's time to very much raise that challenge, and move on to greater challenges, which is preparing the next generation to do even more than we're doing currently. And it's about the realization that some people aren't going to pass the torch, and that you have to take it. That's a big thing about this campaign. People literally were not going to hand me the torch. I took it anyway. So it's like we know who we are. We know where our hearts, where we're coming from in our heart, and we know what we're capable of. And it's, if you fail, make it a lesson. Um, and no, it's about getting what you're worth, and not being diminished out of that.
So you're running for mayor in Schenectady or in upstate New York. What made you want to utilize social media so heavily?
Well, it's the fact that the institutional media would, up until this point, hasn't covered me in a way that has been fair. And that's, like, it's not just me, it's like, I mean, that's their ability. But social media and the impact that I'm having on it is comparable to the institutional medias, and I would say in many realities, I'm reaching more people than them through this sort of content, and I'm solidifying a stronger base than they have had. And it's just like certain conversations get iced out of popular media, mainstream media. And that's why it's just like, even doing interviews with you and the other people across upstate New York that are, championing independent media, doing independent journalism, having hosting conversations and broadcasting. It's a civic duty, and it's a power that they don't really want us to know we have, that we live in the age of information, and that we can contribute to what that information is, and they have no ability to dictate it. And when you offer again and again substance, like substance, and you're talking about dollars and cents, um and they ignore you, I mean, it's just like, you can ignore it, but it's happening. So like that's the that's and the from 2023 to now, there have been so many technological advancements in terms of what it means to run an independent campaign that isn't backed by a lot of money. And social media, and as we were talking before this, like algorithms, Facebook, like political content on Facebook and Instagram, it's just like it very rarely gets pushed. On YouTube, it very rarely gets pushed. You get subdued in the algorithm, but they lean towards these authoritative sources. But just because it says you're an authoritative source doesn't mean that you have any real authority on the issue. So it's like we've been able to reach people because things like TikTok have finally offered a fairness structure in reaching the people, reaching your audience. So it's just like we're building an audience on social media, and a lot of politicians are on social media. Some of them are private, weirdly, and then some of them have no motion. It's because they're not saying anything. It's because they don't want to take a photo. It's because, even though I look hella nervous when I'm speaking into a camera, there are guys who look like you would think, you wait until you see how suave and charismatic I am, compared to some of these guys who can't even, they look nervous on the news. They look nervous, talking to Channel 6. So it's just the times are changing, and it's like it's very similar to Obama and how he used Facebook. And then another thing, the monk Martin Luther and how he used the printing press. You use what's available to you to reach an audience and bring people together and create a coalition that wasn't possible under old media formats.
Do you ever get recognized for running for mayor
Oh, all
in
the time,
Schenectady?
all the time. I everywhere I go, not just in Schenectady too. People record me. People, we take photos together, and it's just not. It's not just like people from high school. It's people of all creeds, colors, and religion, and it feels like a big upstate New York party.
Hmm.
Like, and it's because we like the things I'm talking about in Schenectady work in Troy, they work in Saratoga, they work in Albany, and it's yeah, I get recognized everywhere I go, and it's
Mhm.
it's hella love, and I get some dirty looks too, but hey,
Comes with the
it
territory.
comes with the territory,
Um, did you hear about the Schenectady lady that left her newborn in a drainage pipe at the GE campus?
Yes, disgusting. Yes, yeah, disgusting, very bad. Didn't you just get 25 to life?
Something 25 minimum, yeah.
Yeah, and then the judge said, don't worry about parole. It's not a good look. Very unfortunate, and we gotta protect our youth. And it's I mean an even deeper problem because it uh yeah, we have to protect our youth, and there are some people who aren't quite ready to be parents, and the children suffer the consequences.
Mm. I don't know anything about that situation except for that headline that I just read, right? But
Mhm.
I feel bad. I mean, when women have a baby, like they're literally their hormones are so different. And I don't know. I'm not excusing what she did. There's no excuse for what she did, especially for that little innocent kid. But I don't know. Does one literally just kill their child for no reason?
Yeah, no, it's but
Or is there mental health? Is there lack of resources? Is there lack of this, lack of that? Like,
and that's exactly what I'll join you on, because it's like some of this, not everyone. The idea is just to fill our prisons.